When we think about going online, we often think primarily about the delivery platform and digitizing our content to be delivered online. But the most important part of teaching online is still the teaching aspect. This presentation will introduce some key aspects of effective online teaching. I want to introduce some best practices of teaching in general, and then we can talk a little bit more about how that translates to a good online class. I'm referencing Ken Bain's book, What the Best College Professors Do, and we'll talk about how we implement some of these key ideas in the online environment. One of the key points is that knowledge is constructed, not received. Studio, lab work, problem-based learning are some of the more obvious ways to incorporate this concept, but lecture-style classes can also integrate active learning opportunities. Whatever the setting, the instructor strives to create a natural, critical learning environment. You, as that instructor, try to assign authentic tasks that arouse students' curiosity and those that will become intrinsically interesting to the student. A provocative or thought-provoking lecture or an intriguing question can be an impetus for student inquiry. It is through that inquiry and struggle to understand, to design, and to create that real knowledge will be achieved. So how do we not undermine this key concept in the online environment? Active learning is essential, whether face-to-face or online. While it is definitely more difficult to create hands-on activities remotely, there are many ways to promote the active construction of knowledge. The modality of content delivery or of interaction does not preclude introducing an intriguing question, a complex problem to be solved, or critical thinking exercise, either alone or within a group. Questions play an essential role in the process of learning and modifying mental models. Questions help us construct knowledge. Some cognitive scientists think that questions are so important that we cannot learn until the right one has been asked. If memory does not ask the question, it will not know where to index the answer. The more questions we ask, the more ways we can index the thought in memory. Better indexing produces greater flexibility, easier recall, and richer understanding. One of the strategies of our instructional design process is to use backwards design. This starts by asking, if there was one question I'd like students to be able to answer after taking this course, what would it be? What is the one essential question we are trying to answer? This is a helpful technique in designing a course, but also a helpful guide to enhancing your teaching opportunities as the course progresses. Continually asking students questions within the framework of the one essential question can give students focus and a framework from where they can do mental exploration. Caring is crucial. Establishing personal and social connections is a basic human need. This need extends into online spaces. In fact, when in online courses, students are not only looking for information, they are also looking for connections and affirmation. In your face-to-face class, you establish your social presence and your connection with students in a myriad of ways. When you are teaching online, be aware that the students still want to make that same type of connection. They want to know you and want you to know them. Mental models change slowly. Students must face a situation in which their mental model will not work, and they must care that it does not work strongly enough to stop and grapple with the issue at hand. Then, they need to be able to handle the emotional trauma that sometimes accompanies challenges to long-standing beliefs. Probably all of us have had our moments of epiphany and may remember the exact moment it happened in a particular class. And hopefully you've been able to see those moments in your students. Those magical aha moments also happen in online classes. The opportunities for those moments may need to be carefully constructed as the online environment is not as conducive to an instructor being able to respond and adapt as quickly as he or she might in a face-to-face classroom. An online class needs to be designed and assignments crafted in a way that allows students to try their own thinking, come up short, receive feedback, and try again. I have sat in on many face-to-face classes to observe and have discovered, really not surprisingly, that an instructor at the front of a class giving a lecture is not just giving a lecture. They are engaging with the students. They are reading body language and adjusting to what they say accordingly. They may throw in a joke or question to refocus attention. They may raise and lower their voice for effect. They may walk around the classroom and engage an individual student. You get the point. Very few just stand there and recite a lecture. So when you think of setting up your online class, you should think about not how to do those exact same actions, but how to elicit the effect of those actions. Most all of you have now had some experience with remote instruction. What was your mindset when you started? Did your experience change how you thought about online teaching? Or did it reinforce some of your expectations? When asked to go online for the first time, instructors often start by thinking about the content of the course, almost to the exclusivity of everything else. This is especially true for lecture-style courses. The instructor often visualizes an online course as simply a platform to deliver content, like standing in the front of a classroom delivering a lecture. This mental model of teaching online views the delivery of content as being the core of the instructor's mission. But this mental model underestimates the value of teaching. Teaching is, of course, much more than delivering content. Teaching is difficult to define, but is the thing of most value. Content is cheap and easily available compared to finding essential teaching moments. The essence of a well-designed course is that it facilitates teaching. The following modules offer some tips and techniques to help you teach online effectively, and will hopefully help you develop a mental model of teaching as interactions that are core to your online course.